Hi guys, this is Chantal, and today I want to talk to you about the plan for this area over here between us and the neighbors. And so with the house that you see behind me is our neighbor's house, and right now neither of us have any privacy. We cleared up this area about 2 years ago now. There were lots of trees that would have been a danger to their house, and there were also and they were touching the power lines, and there were also lots of dead things in there, so we had to clean it all up. And right now there is really no privacy between both of us, so we both want some privacy, and I want to talk to you about the plan that I have for this area over here. You might see some footage of me cleaning up this area during this video if I still have the time after I talk to you about this plan to come back here and clean up, because it does get dark early over here. It is getting dark slightly slower than before, but it still gets dark pretty early, so I have to kind of hurry up on telling you what the plan is, and then I'll have to come back here and clean up this area, or as much of it as I can. So but before I do that, I'm going to move to a different location because I want to respect the privacy of our neighbors, and I don't want to make them feel like I'm filming them. So I'm going to move over to a different location so that we can film this video. It's a pretty nice warm day today, and I was hoping I could get outside earlier to get this project going, but I had some other responsibilities I needed to take care of. School vacation is over, so we had to start our school again, and that takes time, so I have to come here in the afternoon, and by that time the weather would have cooled down and all the sun went away, but it's alright. It's gonna get easier as the season progresses. Before I proceed on the plan, I just want to say that this is something, if you live in a cold environment like I do, and you don't have at this moment we don't have any snow because all the snow melted after all the rain that we got and the flash freezing, so we will be expecting more snow, of course, in the future. But at this time, when we don't have any snow on the ground and I'm able to see what's out there, I can go out and clean up things that I don't want to be there, like maybe if you have flower beds, you could clean up whatever, like animals that you have in there, or something that's dead on a branch that's dead or something like that. For me, I have a lot of shrubbery that I need to clean up that should not be there in the first place, so that's what I'm going to be working on in that area, and I'm going to do that as soon as I'm done filming this. The plan for that area over there is to put a hedge of evergreens that will be tall enough to provide a privacy screen for both of us. And I don't want to go with arborvitaes, because arborvitaes are a great snack for the deer over here. As you have seen, our neighbors have planted arborvitaes when they built their house and moved into their house. That's the first thing they planted in there, and you can see all the bottom of the arborvitaes. They told me that's the deer came and were munching on them, and that's why they look like that. So instead, what I went with is the Spartan spruce, and that's supposed to grow about 5 feet wide, 4 to 5 feet wide, and about 15 feet tall. And if it grows a little bit taller, that would be great. Then it would cover, like the second story building for both of us. And what I'm actually considering doing is also maybe creating just a kind of a gentle berm to provide a little bit more height, so that the evergreen would be maybe a foot or so higher. If I have more soil that I won't be using over there, like backed soil, maybe that's like the cheap backed soil. Right now, all the soil that we had in our driveway, I put a lot of it in the vegetable garden over here to fill up these beds. And I also have some in the trailer that I was trying to bring into the vegetable garden, but what happened is a snowstorm started while I was moving in here, and it was pretty muddy, and I kind of got stuck and I wasn't able to move it in here. So I'm hoping that maybe when it's frozen but there's no snow, I'll be able to kind of wheel it in here. But I don't know how I'm going to be able to lift it because it's pretty heavy. Taking it off the lawnmower is one thing. Hooking it back onto the lawnmower with all that weight, it's like about 1,000 pounds in there, is a whole different story, and I won't be able to do that. So I will have to probably take some of the dirt out with maybe put it into the wheelbarrow or something like that, so that I can move it in here, so whenever we don't have snow, I'll be able to move it into the garden. I'll have to clean up a couple of the beds so that I can put the dirt in them and fill them up, because our old beds are totally empty of soil. They're I mean, they're about this low from the edge of the raised bed. Anyways, that's I deviated from the subject. We were talking about that area. So that's the first thing I want to do over there is to put an evergreen hedge, and then we will take it slowly. So that area receives a pretty good portion of sunlight during the day, but it does get shaded in the afternoon with a neighbor's house. Not all the area, but most of the area. So that's another reason why I went with the junipers, and especially the junipers that I chose, because they do take part shade to sun. So they're not a full shade plant, but they can take part shade. They do live in the cold environment, so we are zone 5 and they can survive this environment. I'm not sure if they can survive up to zone 4 maybe, or zone 3, I forgot. When we get the plants, then I'll share with you from what zone to what zone they can handle. Unfortunately, I forgot. So if you are planning on ordering yours now for the next season, or if you live in like a warmer climate than we do and you're able to plant now, I'm not sure. I can't confidently tell you if they can survive in your area or not. My first option for that area was actually pencil hollies. And the reason why I wanted to go with the pencil hollies is because they were super narrow. They grow about 2 to 3 feet wide and about 12 to 15 feet tall. But the reason why I decided against them is because I've seen a lot of reviews where they kind of, with the weight of the snow, they tend to split open and then they look really ugly. So anytime we get a lot of heavy snow, I would have to go out there and clean them, and I don't want to do that. Another problem that is in that area is we have a lot of shrubbery that should not be there, that would be also blocking the sunlight for the small trees that I would be getting. I'm getting about 2 to 3 feet tall trees, so they're pretty small, and they grow about 18 inches tall in one season. So I think that's pretty good for that variety. They might grow slower, but if I take good care of them, then they will be hopefully will grow faster for me. And they are also drought tolerant, but you do have to establish them first, so you do have to care for them at least for the first 2 seasons, because they are a tree, so you need to establish them really well before they are able to, handle the drought. So if we do end up having a drought the next season, I will have to provide them with supplemental water. I am planning on putting a drip irrigation for them, and with individual drip emitters for each tree, and as they grow I'll add maybe another emitter so that they can receive more water. And then once they are established, I won't provide them with a whole lot of water, because we are pretty wet generally in here, but we do have for the past 2 years we had a drought during the summer season. After I clean up the strip where I'm going to be planting them, then I'll be cleaning up the shrubbery that's going to be around them that will block the sunlight. It's a lot of sumac that's pretty invasive over here, and also some bittersweet vine that's also invasive in our area, and a lot of invasive thorn bushes, just a whole lot of invasive stuff that should not be there in the first place, that need to be cleaned up. I've been working slowly on the area, and that's one section that I need to work on next. I haven't finished the strip between us and the neighbors on the driveway, but I'll get to that later. I feel like I need to get these ready because I already ordered the trees, and I need that area to be ready for when the trees come. Then I can plant them and not have to worry about cleaning up the area first and having to take care of the trees the whole summer or the whole spring, and have the trees possibly suffer in their pots because they're not planted in the ground. After I clean up the area, I'm going to get some landscaping fabric and cover that whole strip where I'm going to be planting the trees, and that is to prevent any invasive weeds from popping up, and I'll keep them for the first probably 3 seasons, and then after that I'll put cardboard and I'll remove the landscaping fabric and I'll put cardboard and mulch to prevent any invasive weeds from popping up from the ground, and hopefully that would have killed any seeds. If not, anything that pops up later, I will be able to pull it up. But I want to make sure that the whole area in there is cleaned up so that there wouldn't be any seeds dropping into the area where we planted the trees from all the invasive shrubbery that's next to them right now, or that would be next to them. So right now I think I said everything that I need to say. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. Right now I'm going to go ahead and get this area cleaned up as much as I can. I don't know how much time left I have, probably, I don't know, 45 minutes or so. So I'll do whatever I can, and I'll just keep updating you on whenever I do any changes to that area. So let's go ahead, go over there and get the area cleaned up. So it looks like there's some phlox that's growing in here. I'm going to be transplanting these next season. I'll probably put them in the butterfly garden, or I'll move them over a little bit between the crab apple over there and, well, it's not, is it a crab apple? I think so. Anyways, in this area, or most likely they're going to end up in the butterfly garden. But not right now. Right now I'm just going to clean up. I'm afraid to move anything right now because we might have a deep freeze very soon, so I don't think that would be a good idea to do that. I'm just going to keep cleaning up right now. And this stuff over here is going to end up in the big compost pile that I have behind the vegetable garden. I showed you that compost pile in a few other videos, and I'm not going to show it to you today, but maybe on another video, or you can go back to my older videos and check it out. I think when I talked about composting, I might have talked about it, or I'm not sure. It's somewhere in one of these videos. So let's keep going. I think I'm going to stop for tonight, but let me show you what I cleaned up so far. So here's the first arborvitae, and I reached a little bit beyond it right here, and our property line is right there, so I cleaned up from there and over here, and it goes kind of this way. I think it ends deeper in there in that direction. And so I'm just trying to clean up this space so that I can fix it and put the mat down, so when spring comes I'll be ready to plant. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications of whenever I upload new videos. And if you do like this video, please hit the like button. I'll be leaving a couple of videos for you over here to watch, so you can click on those and watch them. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.